Fuck. That hurt. Or, it didn't. It's odd, it felt like it should have. There's this overwhelming sense of disorientation, and I can hardly seem to see straight, much less think. But nothing seems to actually be in pain. The guy in the black robe, on the other hand, didn't appear to have my luck. He laid bent and twisted at impossible angles beside the smoldering wreckage that was once my beat-up 95 Dodge Neon, making it a considerable improvement. Death's condition? Not so much. Despite appearing suddenly in the car clothed in that bleak, tattered black robe with his ominous message of impending doom, he didn't really seem to be very deathlike now. Aside from his absolute stark lack of life, I could easily see his face, and he appeared very much to be a regular human like I am. Or had been prior to meeting him anyway. With a whirlwind of questions making my already spinning mind revolve sickeningly faster, I realized that it was getting colder at a steady rate. So without any real options, I grabbed the dark cloak, donned it, and started walking towards the only light I could see in the distance. After an indeterminate amount of time, I could make out that the light was a dying campfire, and so, quickening my pace, I reached it within a few more minutes. There, I found a highly emaciated middle-aged man clutching himself and shaking. Whether from cold or hunger, I could not tell. He obviously had run out of whatever resources he may have had before I had happened upon him, as his first question upon sight of me was whether I had any food or water. I informed him that I'd just been in a pretty bad car accident and didn't really have much of anything on me besides this robe, which wasn't much solace anyway, given the circumstances. Given the man's appearance and desperation for sustenance, I told him that, unfortunately, he was probably going to die. The man seemed as though he would have broken into tears if his body had any liquid left to offer, but he resigned himself to simply laying on the ground and turning over, curling up with his face out of view. Not knowing what else to do, and feeling quite helpless about everything in general, I laid down by the fire, which seemed to do nothing to stave off the encroaching, bitterly cold night. I woke up again, much later, to the stereotypically hopeful sound of birds chirping in the distance. Looking over at the black robe on the side of the campfire, I thought about what had transpired while the man slept. Did I really need to kill him? Those birds, maybe I could have... No, listen to yourself, Steve. You've been lost out in these barren plains for weeks without managing to catch a damn thing yourself. This guy stumbling across you in the middle of the night was a straight miracle, and you know it. And while it would have been nice if he had anything on him in the form of food, it's not like you had any other choice. It's not like it tasted good. And look, now you've got this coat, or whatever the hell it is, to keep you warm while you try and find your way back to the camp. You're gonna make it out of this. You're a survivor. Resigned to the choices I've made, I slip the cloak on and pack up what remaining tools I have. Listening carefully, I realize the sound of rushing mechanical whizzing and rumbling in the distance can be only one thing. A highway. The cloak clinging tightly to my skin, I start in that general direction, hoping I can find someone else before it's too late.